All right, I believe all of you can see this. And the theme of this fair from us is to be career ready through this uncertainty times. Yeah. And let me again introduce myself. My name is Reinaldo Wong. I'm the Director of Academic Affairs from East Asia Institute of Management. I'd like to clarify that we still use the EASB logo, but officially we are called East Asia Institute of Management. Okay. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused a lot of havoc all throughout the world. And one of the biggest hits is, of course, unemployment. And if you have been following the international news, especially out of the US, just quoting the US because it's such a big market, they have seen that one of the biggest unemployment rate is just soared up to the roof in the last 10 years. They have never seen this kind of figures. So it become very alarming, yeah? And if you are still employed right now, well, good for you, yeah. However, keep your job, yeah, but things might change, in what we call the new normal nowadays, yeah. So we would like you to consider just, ask yourself the following questions to see whether you are ready to face the new realities. Number one, how is the industry that I'm keen to go into affected? How can I fill up the skill gaps to meet the new realities? How do I succeed in the emerging job market? And lastly, how can I stay focused and energized? Okay, we hope that through this session, you will be a bit enlightened, and then you can consider and pick on the points that we have raised. Okay. Now, first question: how's the industry I am keen to go into affected by the pandemic? We would like you to determine, right, both short-term and long-term impacts. It's very easy to see the short-term impacts with the circuit breaker and so forth in Singapore, but what is this long-term impact? One of which is the new normal. Like, for example, even if your restaurant is open, what about the social or safety distancing? How would this impact the business? Even in the hotel, when guests check in, are you able to just walk in to visit your friends at the lobby, or are there some other checks? Yeah. So look carefully at the industry that you want to join, and determine not just the local, but also the international impacts. Because you are some of you are still very young and very mobile, you may want to just extend your reach, not just in Singapore, but maybe regionally for your career choice, as well as internationally. Yeah. Very important for you to know when is the right time to join the industry. Now, nobody can really advise you when is the right time. Any time that you see fit is the right time, yeah? So you have to decide for yourself when is the best time for you to make that move, yeah? In the meantime, we encourage you to acquire the skills needed for this new state of the industry. Like I said, the new normal of the industry. Be prepared, for example, to work in a changed environment. And I'm just giving you some examples here. For flexi hours, project-based work, working from home, for example. We're going to see a lot of people doing that. Yeah, a lot of companies would, if not 100%, at least 50% of their staff is going to be working from home. So are you prepared, or are you the type that have to go out and have to have a 9 to 5 job outdoors, for example? Yeah. The other thing, second question is, how can I fill up the skill gaps to meet the new realities? We suggest that you learn skills that will be demanded for both during and after the pandemic. Figure out what these skills that you need and how to get them. Evaluate all the learning options from the government, from the private sectors as well, yeah, that are relevant and will help you to advance your career or enter the career choice. Ensure the qualification that you get is recognized in the industry of your choice. Sure, you should be interested in that degree, yeah, but today it's not just, oh, I'm interested in that subject, but also how can I make use of this in the industry? Because at the end of the day, that qualification is going to get you that job that you so desire, all right? Third question, how do I succeed in the emerging job market? Well, register yourself with job platforms, and there are plenty out there. You know, I think some of you may know even more than I do, yeah, beyond the LinkedIn, for example, yeah, and also the recruiting firms, and there are tons online. Yeah, some requires you to pay, some are free, most are free. Okay, so prepare a solid profile. A profile is very different from a CV. A profile sort of not just to give information, but you do a bit of selling about yourself. Consider other industries. When you apply for a job, do not just stick on to a particular industry or function role. You may need, which may need your skill set. So you sort of cast your nets wider. Also, know the peculiarities of the industry that you want to join, avoiding a standard CV. So certain industry requires a certain type of work skills, require people to be, for example, more flexible. Yeah. So check on the online to see what type of industry, what type of peculiarities they have, and then make sure that your profile matches this. Okay. And the last question that we are handling is, how can I stay focused and energized? Well, everyone, if you read from CNN, CBS, and everybody is talking about keeping physically fit and mentally strong, especially through these hard times. Yeah. So take stock of your financial obligations, your loans, your family obligations, yeah, and see, you know, whether it's time for you to find a higher paid job, for example, or can you take it easy and look for a job that is more your interest, for example. Prepare to encounter challenges, because everything new has its challenges and failures along the way. Do not give up. That's why you need to be physically fit and mentally strong. Yeah. Nothing that is good comes easy. All right. And the other thing is also very important is join the institutions and organizations that can help you through this transition. Very important. Okay. Now, this leads me on to why do you want to look at EAIM, for example, for your education. EAIM offers a comprehensive suite of postgraduate programs. We are future focused, and we are constantly talking to industry players across the disciplines that we offer below, so that we are very current and contemporary. The 4 programs that we're going to talk about this morning is the Master of Science in International Management and Leadership with Hospitality. That's from the Queen Margaret University. The Master of Science in Person-Centered Practice. That's from Queen Margaret University. The Master in Business Administration from Edinburgh Business School. That's from EBS Harold. And the Masters in Business Administration Global from De Montfort University, otherwise known as DMU. Okay, let's start with, this is East Asia Institute of Management. The campus is along Ballister Road yeah, off Barrister Road, sorry, it's number 9 Arwood Road. It's a very big campus, yeah, and I suggest that you should go there and have a look if you're interested, yeah, to join the school. It's easily accessible through buses and it's within walking distance to the Novenas area. Why EAIM, you may ask yourself. Okay. Now, first thing, we offer true blended learning. What is blended learning? Well, the teacher leads the learning. We use technology such as smart classroom, the canvas for your notes. Yeah, we use videos. Yeah, other than textbooks, of course, and you get a lot of online learning support, as you can see. Here, students get to use their tablet, iPad, handphone. When they sign on, they get access to a publisher, a textbook publisher that we work with called Pearson. And they are given guides, study guides, textbooks. The study guides are proprietary to EASB because they are of bite-sized information, very easy for you to learn. Yeah, and of course, in the course of the lecture, we also play games, quizzes, and videos. All this is what, in a comprehensive way, is what we term as EAIM's blended learning. And we also practice the flipped classroom, especially for nursing, for example. Students are given the notes and videos and textbooks and the chapters to refer to before, and then during the class, we will practice the concepts, and after the class, they have online support. That's in a nutshell what flipped classroom that we practice today in our classes. Okay, now we move on to Edinburgh Business School, which is part of the Harold Ward University program. You can see ranking is very important, maybe not to all of you, but most of you. So you can see that the EBS program is ranked 35 in the UK and 6 in Scotland in a recent The Complete University Guide 2020. Also in the QS Words University Ranking 2020, it depends on which publication you go into, yeah? EBS is ranked 314th in the world and 38 in UK and 7th in Scotland. For the enrollment, there are two ways that you can enter this program. The first one is with a degree. So for all degree holders, right, whether yours is a first or second class degree, you can apply to the EBS program, or any other university or institute of higher education that is recognized case by case, right? We have to send to Harold Ward for their approval. The program duration in this for type 1 entry is 12 months. There's another type called type 2 for non-degree holders. So here you will do a 3 months sort of like course to get yourself used to it, to get your to see whether you can cope with it because you don't have a degree, so it may be new to you. You will still be able to access Harold Ward as a student, and this because of the 3 months, yeah, that you need to take the first 3 courses. For people coming in with a no degree, the program duration is 15 months. This is the module sequence, just for your information. Yeah. Here, I like to highlight that the examination for the EBS program, the timetable is very, very flexible for you. So I can understand some of you may be holding junior management and senior management positions. So you can see the test centers is offered in 463 major cities. And you have examination 4 times a year, yeah? And so it's in all over the world. So maybe during that time, say for March exam, right? You are in February, you are maybe in Shanghai. You can register to take the exam in Shanghai, no problem. So it's very, very flexible for you. Yeah. As an EBS student, you are encouraged to study when and where and how you want. Yeah, there are different modes. You can, as you see in the picture, the lady using the iPad. When you join, right, you can download all the modules. It's not just that particular module that you are going to be tested on or taking for that quarter term. So the EBS allows you to read ahead or to know about the other modules for the more hardworking individual. EBS also allows you as a student to refer and access past year's exam papers. This is very good for you because you would like to know how do I write a answer script that is A or B or C, and then you can gauge, and the lecturers will also help you to go through some of these past year's questions during the class and to examine how to answer the paper. You also have self-assessment tests that just like the local driving test, for example, you can go online, test yourself before you actually sit for the actual test. So EBS has allowed students to access to this so that they are totally comfortable when they come to take the examination. For any inquiry, Ms. Amanda Kang, who you see here, is the head of school from EBS. Her email is there. If you have any inquiry later on, maybe she can also assist. Now, I'd like to say also that under the EBS program, we also have the EBS Chinese program, which is very popular and has been increasingly popular over the past 5 years. So Amanda Kang is also heading the EBS Chinese program. Okay. We move on now to another university called the De Montfort University in the UK. This is a picture of the university. In terms of ranking, the MBA Global, right, in terms of subject ranking, ranks 45 according to the University League Table 2020 that you see here. And this is for the subject of the business management studies, Under the University League Table, that means for the whole university, in De Montfort is ranked 67 in the UK. So pretty good, it's in the top 100, that's what we say. In terms of the assessment structure, I'd like to highlight that you can see, even though they have exam, one exam is only worth 50% of the grade, the other one is MCQ, open book test. So for the DMU program, you can see that they are very focused on project-based work, personal development plan, very important, and a lot of executive summary, just what a master program should have, knowing how busy the individual is, Entry requirements, minimum 19 years of age at the time of application at least. And you can see from here, I like to highlight also that the language proficiency has to be an IELTS 6.5. Applicants who are at least 30 years of age with 8 years of working experience may apply, and it's subject to approval on a case-to-case basis. The unique selling point for this program, right, is there's no dissertation, all mostly project-based, very entrepreneurial, very executive, very consultative kind of approach. Literally no exams, as I mentioned earlier on, and even if you have, it's an open book test. Yeah, and they have a teaching excellence framework. They want that, and it's only a 12-month program. For the De Montfort University local contact person is Mr. Eric Lim. He is the Director of School for Business Management. Unfortunately, he is not feeling too well today, so he is unable to join us. But if you have any query, you can also direct to any of us in the team here. All right, moving forward very quickly now is the Allied Health Science from Queen Margaret University. Yeah, this is the Master of Science Person-Centered Practice in Nursing Education, Nursing Management, and Community Care. Why person-centered practice? Now, person-centered practice is very new in the world and also very new in Singapore. We are the only private education institute to offer this absolutely new concept in nursing. Some facts about the Queen Margaret University. Yeah, they are very well known for health and rehabilitation programs. They are ranked 21 in the Good University Guide. Yeah, and also 82% of the QMU students are satisfied with the quality of their course, according to a survey. And you can see that they have won some awards from the Queen of England. Now, why person-centered? Now, different from the traditional nursing program, which teaches you more focus on clinical nursing and how to work, patient care and all that. In the person-centered practice, it is more than just patient care. It's all about planning, approaches, value to the stakeholders, the patient, the family, the doctors, the management team. Yeah. Under person-centered care, they learn about community, how to make sure that they transfer some of the nursing skill to the community so that the caregiver, your loved ones, can help to care for the patient and not just 100% reliant on the nursing department. They also look at educating the individual, the nurses, so that they can give back to the community with their years of experience. And also they look at the management, the planning, the strategy. In previous time, unless you are in the management, you will do the management role in nursing. But here in this program, the students are taught all these three areas. And that's why they really focus on the person, well-being, and health. So here you can see why person-centered practice. The focus is on the person, not the patient. Yeah, it's a work-based elements. A lot of the job requires you to do work-based projects. So you are contributing back to the organizations that you are currently working with if you are already a nurse. Yeah, and focusing learning in your own area of specialism. We have very good lecturers. These are just some examples. Here you can see they are all senior directors, yeah, and general managers for the strategic management module, which the nursing management team has to learn. This, you can see that they do some core modules, 3 core modules, and before they split into the specialism, which they do another 3, and then they will come back together to do the dissertation relevant to the specialism that they choose. a summary of the three different programs: education, yeah. We teach students to be innovative, creative, and to be professional in the area of academics. For management, they have to learn strategy and how to how to create value for the organization. And also they learn about human resource management. In community care, they learn how to support the patient and the family in palliative care. So you can see that yes, it is still a nursing program, but you can see the specialism differentiate your area of interests. Here are some of the career prospects that you can see on your right. Yeah, nurse education, educator, yeah, and so forth. And on the left, you can see what is the entry requirements. You must have a first degree in nursing and 2 years of post-graduation nursing experience. And language proficiency is IELTS 6.5. Okay, I know I'm running a bit of tight time, and now I'm at the last of my program. It's the Master of Science in International Management and Leadership with Hospitality. The lady in charge is called Lim T.J. Siu. She is the head of school for hospitality and tourism, and she is with us today. Yeah. And so if you have any inquiry, please, speak to her. Queen Margaret University, I've mentioned before. Yeah, it's ranked 27 in the complete university guide, which is very good. These are some shots of the university. For the MSc program, you need to have a bachelor degree or a recognized equivalent qualification subject to approval from QMU. English language, again, is IELTS 6.5 minimum. Now, why study this program with us? Okay, you gain new knowledge and skills and confidence. Usually, people change their jobs after attaining the master's. Changing the job doesn't mean changing the organization. It could be that most of the time they get promoted. Yeah. Also, it's a very recognized degree. And the lecturers or professors that you have are all experienced, easily 8 to 10 years minimum experience in the industry. The way we teach the program is that we use very contemporary management issues in our modules. You learn a lot about what's going on in the world today, like for example, COVID-19, and how does it impact the hospitality industry. Especially in this program, in a master's program, we teach the students how to be critical in their thinking, which is a step higher than just analytical thinking. These are some of the subjects. You can see that even though it's a hospitality degree program, you can see that you learn things like accounting and behavioral finance, for example. This is the program schedule for all of you who are interested from now until next year. Some testimonies I've included from our satisfied customer students, you can see. And from our lecturer as well, we also, because they are such a key essential element to our success, our lecturers, like for example, this Dr. William Lee. So we also ask them to give us feedback. And online matriculation for all master students, you're given direct access, just like our other university partners, to the Queen Margaret University. You get the online support, the full access to all the journals, library, textbooks, everything you need is all online. Yeah. And the library guide is very comprehensive for new students, step-by-step guide. So that's the end of my presentation. I think I overspilled JC by I think about 10 minutes, so sorry about that. I will now hand back the mic to JC. Thank you so much.